Hey there, welcome to another episode of Watch Soup. I am your co host, Bobby Legs. Good to see you. Oh, there's Deb. Accidentally pressed the button there. I'm joined
That
by
was
my other
amazing.
yeah. I'm joined by my other co host, Clayton from the Watchdog podcast. Hopefully, Sanjay from the Engineer Wannabe channel will be popping in. He's got the same situation I do, putting the kids to bed. Sometimes we're on time, sometimes we're not, but I'm sure everybody has something like that going on in our lives. Anyway, Clayton, how are you, man? Well, give us, hey, you weren't here last week. You ran a half marathon. Tell us
Yeah.
what you did.
Oh,
We'd hear
yeah.
about it.
So I'm a pacer for the Rhode Island Road Runners. So we hold up the sign and we
Yeah.
help people. There's a lot of adrenaline flowing. The
Mm.
atmosphere. So when the race starts, you tend to go out too fast and
Oh,
then you hit
yeah.
the wall, right?
Yep.
So we are there to keep you kind of running even. So I did the first half of the full marathon about 8:25 pace, 8 minute
Okay.
25-second miles. So yeah, I ran the first half. We bank a little time because the second half of that marathon is a bit hilly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was great. Yep, great group. I almost feel guilty because they still have to run. The people I'm running with have to
Yeah.
run the rest of the race, and I
Yeah.
go to the beer tent.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I can
Um,
drink beer at 9:30, and it's totally socially acceptable. It's
absolutely.
a good thing.
Absolutely. Um, so, have you ever ran a full marathon?
Oh, many. Yep.
Okay,
Quite a few.
okay,
Yep.
okay. Yeah, so I've run only a few 5Ks, right? I just can't run more than that. And then now
Right.
I don't even like, that's anyway. But that was like a problem I would have, like when I would start, I would go too fast. I would
Yep.
just go too fast, and that first mile ran way too fast. And then like usually they'll have like a clock right after every mile, and then like
Yep.
I'll be like, "Oh crap," like I'm sorry, I ran a 10K once. That's right. That's the longest I ever ran. I ran a 10K once, and that happened to me. I went out fast, way too fast in the first 2 miles, and then like started like sucking wind at the end, and it was like almost like I felt like I was like running in place at the
Yeah.
end. You know what I mean? It took me so long. We were right next to the Hudson River, and it was a windy day, and that made it worse because I'm,
Yep.
I'm 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 running against the wind. But if I had like somebody who had a pace, you know what I mean? Like that would have been helpful. It was, and I don't want to bore the chat too much, but I remember now we lined up where we thought we ran our miles, right? So meaning that like I lined up with all the people who like
Right.
who who typically ran a 10-minute mile. And then there was like 9 minutes ahead of us, mile is 8 minutes ahead of them, and that still didn't help. That still I still took off, and
Yeah.
and then
Fly past everybody and then,
y-
yeah,
and then they're all coming back and passing me at the end. Hey,
it
what are you
happens.
wearing?
I got the new, FXD black.
Oh, that's an awesome watch, man.
I have it on
Congratulations.
this hook and loop, strap that I'm really enjoying too, but, the stock strap's really nice, but yeah, so I know we talked about it
Hmm.
my last appearance on, Watch Soup. We
Yeah.
talked about it, this watch, that watch, I think, and, yeah, it turns out a couple days later, my AD texted me the one she was getting in was not spoken for, it was mine if I wanted it, so
Hmm.
I went for it. I love this watch. I have not taken it off since it came in, yeah, it's fun to I'm not a NATO strap guy, but these hook and loops and, like,
Yeah.
single pass, like, I'm all
Yeah.
about that, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep experimenting with that. This is like, as, our friend Chaz, might say in the podcast I finally released today, sweatpants for the wrist. It's really comfortable.
That's pretty good. That's right. Hey, what watch did you wear as a pace setter?
Oh, I have my
Oh,
Garmin
yeah, you
Instinct,
love
so it
that watch.
has,
Yeah.
yeah, so it actually I have a widget on there that tells me what I need to hit for every mile 'cause,
Yeah.
we stay in that pace and we have, like, mile markers where we need to hit, so I have a
Yeah.
little widget in there, so yeah, that's typically what I use. I will wear 2 watches, not to get way in the weeds on running, but if I meet you at the second half and I'm pacing the second half, I'll actually wear 2 watches, 1 to time the actual start and then 1 to time my pace and everything. So, but
Nice.
then I look like a
Wow.
total dork out there. But
That's awesome. Hey, I had the Zen 356 on wrist today. Still loving this watch.
awesome.
Um, all right. Well, let's say hello to the chat first, and then we'll jump into the first video. Detroit Spartan is here. Hi, Detroit. Hey, good. The Lions are having a season, right?
Whew.
Like,
I can't speak for Stu, but I'm still not used to it. I don't know. I don't know what to do with myself
yeah.
to experience I was young in the 90s when they had a moderate success,
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't old enough to like be a real fan like I am now in
Yeah.
adulthood. So yeah, we're just riding the blue wave and we'll see
Yeah.
what happens.
Yeah. I can tell you this. Stu's probably a little bummed that my Rutgers University Scarlet Knights scored 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to beat his Michigan State Spartans. Hey, Sanjay, what's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Good, good. Sorry, I had a baby emergency.
I knew it. I knew it. Hey, I'm there with you. Hey,
All good.
we're going through the chat. So, what do you have on wrist, Sanjay? Before I continue.
Oh, yes. On my wrist is my Zenith 36 millimeter
Ah,
Catastrophic.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, that's right. That's right. Very
Yeah.
nice. Very nice. Okay, so let's continue with the chat and then we'll get into the soup. Chaz is here. He's here for some Theo and Harris. Bruno, what is up? Good to see you. Bill K, good evening. Caliber is here. How you doing? Wayben wearing the Shunbun. I love that watch and the Nomos Metro just for the occasion. Right, you're hitting 2 videos on there.
yeah, right.
Well done. Well done, Wayman. Quicker than drawing is here. What's up, dudes? Hey, FP Wilson, how are ya? Mez9 is here. Oh, Kevin S. Good to see you. Peter C. A lot of drama last night on your stream. A lot of man. That Bobby, he can tease, man. He can
Yeah,
totally tease a new incoming watch, can he?
he can. Did not
Yeah,
expect any of that. It was,
yeah.
yeah, it was something else.
Yeah, it was fun. Chaz saying I ran a 5K once through the mountains before I realized the bear wasn't actually chasing me. Man, that's funny. Hey PK, good to see you. SJE for him this evening.
Excellent.
Um, Dib is here. I have more wrist hair on my wrist than the intern. Okay, yeah, yeah. There's a little backstory to that one that maybe we'll go into it another time. The red car guy has entered the stream. Yes, he has. Um, awesome, awesome. Okay, so let's get some soup off the stove and into some
Oh
bowls.
boy. I
Oh,
I
that was,
truly look forward to how you're going to lead us in each and every week.
Yeah.
that was brutal. That was brutal. Okay. Well, you know what, Clayton, since we missed you last week, let's start off with your video, Peter Kotsa. What does paid promotions mean for my channel? Take it away, Clayton.
I know this is something we've talked a little bit about before. I liked how forthcoming he was, and I know you and I talked about it too
Mm,
in the podcast you did with me. Paid promotion. What does
yeah.
that mean? I've often said, and that's how he started the video. I wish they were more specific. It says paid promotion, but it doesn't say if they got paid,
Mm,
if they got a watch, if they got a strap or a bracelet or something like that. So yeah, he starts out saying, that paper motion tap is vague in videos. No mention of what that actually means. For him, it usually means that money has changed hands
mhm,
or a product was given. Right. He started his channel during COVID. I love his channel. He's a little micro brand heavy, so I love when he does topical stuff like this because I really like him and
mhm.
his videography and photography. I mean, he's a professional
Okay.
photographer, so he's awesome. He started it during COVID. He lost his job during the lockdown, needed something to do, so he started videoing his watches. And of course, his channel kind of took off, and then he got his job back. He's a professional photographer, but obviously the channel has kept going. He's very busy, so he gets tons of requests. And I think, as I'm not a YouTuber, I don't, but I know you both probably get emails semi-regularly from all of these micro brands and all these brands that you've never heard of asking you to take a look at their watches, feature their watches on your channel, right? He just can't he can't do that all the time. If he doesn't like the watch, he's not going to be a shill. He's not going to do that. He has to like feel
Mhm.
passionately about the watch. He's way too busy, right? He's not interested in making a commercial. If you see a paid promotion tab on his channel, that means that's terrible to him because he doesn't want to be about that. He wants to be enthusiastic about the watches. That really sparks his creativity, you know. So um, you know, as his job is crazy busy as a photographer. I guess I didn't really think about the all the time that goes into being a photographer, but right,
Mm.
traveling to gigs, post production,
Mhm.
especially if you know you're doing commercial gigs and getting high visibility things, maybe a little more than just wedding photography or something. If you're doing for a publication or for a corporation or something, obviously you're going to put a lot of work into that and making it as slick and polished as possible. So yeah, he just doesn't have the time to entertain all of these micro brands and all of these brands. So when he does get a request, he moves on. If he doesn't like the watch, he won't video something he's not into. If he does like it and he is excited about it, he gives them his terms, which is usually just maybe throw a little coin my way, as he says. I'm going to start saying that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Throw a
Yeah.
little coin my way. I like that. Um, or a watch. You know, it's just incentive for him to take time off from his very busy photography job to do the video. It's not a lot of money. It's equivalent to about 2 hours of work for him. So it's not
Mm.
a lot of money. It's just something to make it a little worthwhile. Makes his wife happy that he's making a little money when he's taking time away from his actual job and from the family. He has
Mm.
kids, and as you both can, just getting you doing this on a Sunday night, right?
Mm.
It can be so. We have to have an understanding family. So making a little bit of money makes that a little bit easier. Um, he doesn't care if it's a problem for people. This is where I loved his honesty. If you're going to take money, that's cool. Just like, be a little honest about it. So, um, you know, some people in the comment section, the comment section of YouTube videos can be brutal and they say it's
Yeah.
a commercial, he's a shill. He does not, like I say, he doesn't make commercials. He's just excited about the watches he shows. So, and he's not afraid to be negative, but he has to have some spark of excitement. He's not just going to video anything. So, um, and then he can't do it. Also takes time because he just can't do the 10-minute like having a watch on a desk, and maybe
Yeah.
he was taking a shot at some people, maybe he wasn't, but he just
Mhm.
can't do that. He has to put a lot of work into each video. He's creative also. He does this for a living, so he
Yeah.
feels that need to go the extra mile with creating videos. He said if you like it, that's great. If you don't, there's a ton of other channels out there, so you can go and seek that out. No harm, no foul. So and he also tries to specify the promotion. He will say this is, if he gets money, he'll say this is sponsored by so and so, and if he gets a watch or a bracelet, he'll say that too. So I really loved how just forthcoming he was. And I know
Yeah.
I've talked to both of you about this, and I know we all have mixed feelings. I got a sponsorship offer recently, actually, and I no, I
Mm.
just feel weird about it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I know we've talked about this privately, but I liked how forthcoming he was.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, he must have gotten a lot of like feedback, um, probably a lot of negative feedback
Right.
throughout the last couple months and years in order for him to feel necessary to do this kind of video. I feel like this video just doesn't come out of nowhere. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
maybe a lot of it is a response, and hopefully he's or he's thinking hopefully he could put it to bed, right? So like he doesn't have to deal with that because his work is so good. Like you said, professional photographer, puts a lot of time into it, and it looks almost like a commercial a lot of times with his video. He's
Yeah.
great. I like Peter. He does a lot of micro brands. I felt like him and even to a certain extent now lately, Evan from You're Terrific, another channel that I love, feels like they've been just doing a little bit more. I mean, these guys starting to do micro brands. I mean, like I, man, I only know this because I've been doing videos and for the last like couple years that these are the kind of brands that reach out to you. Seiko doesn't really reach out to anybody. Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Maybe
Yeah.
maybe like somebody who has hundreds of thousands of subscribers. You know, Longines is not reaching out to anybody, so it is a micro brands that reach out, and I feel like a lot of these guys, I mean, to make their time worth their while, because they do put out a good product, and Peter and Evan, they do that. um you know they should be compensated. I mean, like, Google ads don't really pay much, right?
Right.
And anybody who has a channel knows that. So how do you, if you intend to make this a career, or help you know supplement your income, what do you have to do that? Well, I mean, you do have to do paid promotions. You do have to accept, coin or watch here and there, to make it worth your while. Because otherwise, it's when you break down how much you make per hour doing this stuff, it doesn't look too good. It
Yeah.
doesn't, and that's why, like, somebody like, Sanjay, and Sandy, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to speak for you per se, but I
Mhm.
think me and you were kind of like in the same boat, where this is like a passion project for us, in a sense that, and I'm sure it is for them, but in a sense that we know that we're not expecting anything else. We have our life, right? We have
Yeah.
our family life. We have our career, and that takes precedence over anything that we do outside that. And this is just for fun. This is just to meet people, and you know what? If we can make like $100 a month on YouTube, to help pay for the shipping of watches back and forth. That is awesome. If we can break even that way, that's all I've ever wanted to do, was just to break even,
Mhm.
from all the costs that it is. I mean, it is time consuming, and these guys put in a lot of time. So I don't begrudge them. It's just not me, though. I mean,
Yeah.
like, and 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 like, I've been approached by a lot of, not a lot, I've said, but by some micro brands. I get approached a lot by other other stuff that's not even watch related, that just kind of like, you click on the email just to see where it's coming from, and just like, oh yeah, I don't know. So there's a lot of like spam that way.
Yeah.
But you know I, I enjoy this, a lot. And I'm one of those guys where you see the hands. I don't really do much editing tricks and whatnot, although I would love to do it if I had the time. But I don't know, I'm just bare bones. It doesn't really matter. If I make some money or not, that's great. I don't know, Sanjay, what do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah. Same. I think you put it really well. For me, I think it's evolved over the years. I initially, I never thought of it as like a money maker, but it was more of a challenge.
Mm,
Like, in a sense, that it was kind of like a game.
hmm.
Seeing the dollar count from AdSense go up or something like that. It was kind of fun. But yeah, for now it's more, I've come to the realization that I can't keep flipping watches. I'm actually selling watches that I love to buy a watch that I might not love just because I need something else to review. I think I came to that realization about a year ago that I can't keep doing this.
Yeah,
So I didn't stop flipping, but I slowed down, and I've
you're new,
stopped
man.
now.
You're a new man. You've turned
You're a new
into a
I'm a
man.
new
man.
man. But I still do get I do get the emails.
Yeah.
Different, definitely from one that stands out is like
Oh yeah.
Sega Design.
Yeah.
We tend to get those
Yeah.
kind of micro brand emails. Um, Weirdly though, that wallet company, I won't name it because it's not sponsored or anything, but they've sponsored me, and I don't know if it's because that rep really likes me or something, but you know, just willing to send me egregiously priced wallets for free, just
Yeah. Yeah.
just to be spoken about.
And I feel like, um that is like, if there's going to be like any kind of paid promotion, um like any offers to me, like, I'm comfortable with that. Like,
Yeah,
when it comes to like watches, like, that's where I kind of, me personally, have drawn the line, that I'm not going to do any of that, because, you know um like, I'm trying to be, just give you my honest take on something.
Mhm.
And I've repeated this story many times before. I worked one time with a small brand, and even though I was given permission to say whatever I want, I still felt like I pulled some punches on it,
Yeah.
because there's in the back of my mind, I was like, in a sense, kind of like felt like, that wasn't showing enough gratitude if I did that, and that didn't sit with me very, very well. And
Mhm.
you know I could fall into that trap a little bit, Sanjay, and I know you've gotten some watches from subscribers and friends of yours, to the channel to review, and for some reason, like, I don't feel like I need to hold back. I think those people know that they're sending something, and they're going to be open to the thought that it may be critical, and it's no personal dig on your taste and
Yeah.
what you like. You know what I mean? So for me, that feels a little bit different than engaging with a brand, and then pulling punches. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Especially me, I know I can't trust myself. Like, if especially I know myself how enamored I get with a watch when I first get it. Then I start to see like its
Yeah.
quirks and stuff, and it kind of goes downhill. And then I'm a master rationalizer, right? So I will rationalize things till the cows come home, and because of that, I don't trust myself. So
Mm,
if I am given a free product, um, that's really really tough for me.
mm, mm.
um,
Yeah.
like I got to review Microbrand once because they were super local to me, like neighbors pretty much. It was York and Front Microbrand watch, and yeah, it was really hard to talk about how bad the movement was. It was an
Yeah,
STP 111. Man, it was a beautiful watch, but it just the movement is so bad, and it hurt. Like I
yeah.
I was feeling pain talking about it. And when I talked about, the Artem strap that I got for free, and it peeled apart when I threw it in the laundry. Obviously, you're not supposed to do that, and now we know. But yeah, it pretty much came apart, and I had to force myself to talk about that. I was like, "No, I can't not talk about it,"
Yeah.
and it hurt to talk about. So I don't trust myself with being given free products, and I try to shy away from it. With a wallet, it doesn't really matter. I
Mm,
I, I feel it's a wallet, but
yeah.
or like if some VPN company said, "Hey, can you do a spot for us?" I'd be like,
Yeah.
"Sure, VPN. I'll plug a VPN."
Yeah. Yeah. Plug a VPN or like a
That's what I would do
small
with my
phone company.
podcast too,
Yeah.
Manscaped. Then I would
Yeah.
like be
Yeah.
able
Yeah.
to write really funny Manscaped commercials. I mean, they write themselves. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, the watch thing is a little touchy for me. I don't think I would do it either. But yeah, Manscaped. I'll do. There's a Whiskey and Watches podcast. They do Manscaped stuff.
Yeah.
Um, non watch related. I'd be open to, but
Yeah, like nose
yeah,
hair trimmer. Like, yeah, I mean, send
yeah,
them, send them. You
Yeah.
know, I'll
ear hair trimmer. I mean, that is
your
a
hair.
real struggle for me.
Yeah, eyebrow.
Grows everywhere
Yeah,
except the top of my head. It's
yeah,
not fair.
exactly. Hey, Ep is here. How you doing, Ep? Good to see you, Mr. Time Hill. Hello, hello. Let's see. Any comments here? We should all wear Long Island watch shirts at watch time. Okay, so a bunch of guys going to watch time. Looks like Detroit Spartan is going to wear a Long Island
Oh
watch
yeah,
shirt.
he's giving out $50 to everyone that wears one.
Oh, really?
Mark,
Wait,
yeah.
so what? I thought that this just a random thing Detroit Spartan was saying, but this is actually a real thing.
Yeah, he released a video. He did it at the first he did it where was the last one? Chicago. And then he if you wore an Islander, he gave like the first 50 people each day $50. And now if you wear an Islander shirt, he's giving you $50. So
All right.
yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Keith is saying, I guess I don't blame YouTubers for taking money from brands, but not sure why people would want to watch a sponsored review. Yeah, and that's a good point. But at least there is some sort of message saying that this is a sponsored review. I feel like there are times when that is conveniently left out.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's where the problem is. Look, if I'm everything, look, there's no moral. I mean, there's some ethics on YouTube, right? YouTube won't allow you to say certain things or talk about certain subjects, the big stuff, right? Like really heavy stuff, like child pornography or COVID was a hot topic for a while. You couldn't mention that, you know.
Yeah.
And so, but like this kind of stuff, there's no police, you know what I mean? And so like as a consumer of this kind of content, like I have to make myself aware of that. Now the problem is like when you have somebody new coming into the hobby who's discovering watch content on YouTube, then you get, I mean, I got, you know, I was very impressionable, right, when it came to stuff like that. So
Mhm.
I think there's just like, you know, there's some responsibility that us content creators should take, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just me.
There's there's a coffee YouTuber called James Hoffman. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. Really, really great videos. Very popular guy. One video really hit me hard. Was where he was doing a review of something, but he got it for free, and he started the video by saying, "I got this for free, so you should treat this video like an ad,
Hmm.
but I will give you my honest opinion."
Yeah.
So I want to like implement that if I ever
Mm,
accept a
Yeah.
watch for free,
yeah,
which probably unlikely, but if I ever do, I want to always say that. Like, say if I were to review one of those wallets that I got for free, I want to start by saying, "I got this for free, so you should treat this review as an ad,
yeah,
but I will try to give
Yeah.
you my honest opinion."
yeah. I think that's a great caveat.
Yep.
Yeah,
I will use that too if it ever
Yeah.
comes
yeah,
to
Me too.
yeah.
Yep.
that. Microbands are the best, Dib says. Wow. I can't figure Dib out. I can't figure it out. He's all over the place, I feel like. Keith saying, I'm pretty sure You're Terrific does not take money from brands. Okay. All right. I
That's
mean,
fair.
look, the reason why he gets like a pass is because he's funny, right? You know what I mean? Like
He's
you
funny.
know, so like I guess it's, you know, kind of like holding people to different standards. Yabba dabba doo, says the big Russ, quoting some Fred Flintstone there. Dib has a microbrand. How cool! How can I get one? Yeah, I'm all on Dib's microbrand. Well, you know what? Let's not try not to let the cat out of the bag, but I think something may be in the works. Yeah, PayPal him $100.
Yeah.
Uh, that's awesome. Sympathy for Devil live streams is what Mr. Legs comes into his own. Knows how to MC guests and bring out the best commentary. Not unlike Stern with Ronnie Mudd. Hey, you know, Stern, Howard Stern reference there. Well, thank you. And you know,
You're always so nice.
Sandy does a great job on his streams, and Clayton does a great job on the podcast too. So, you know, I think that's why we work so well together. Hey, if you guys need a clearinghouse, send all your paper mushes to me. I'll hold it. Oh, you're always up to something, that Wilson. That Wilson. Hey, Random Rob here. What's up? Paid promotion. People get paid to go to work, making bids and doing the channel is work. Should we get paid? Absolutely agreed, Rob. No doubt about that. It's when you know, sometimes the paid promotion is not announced. That I think that's where
Yeah.
the issue is, right? And whether you get paid for promotions or not, there's no judgment here. It's just something that I don't do, and I'm not saying that that's better than anybody else's choice. It's just,
Mhm.
you know, my choice.
You know why
Um,
I don't another reason why I don't like to do it is just because I do this for fun around my actual job that I love to do, kind of like what Peter does. Like I love what I do and it's a lot of energy, it consumes a lot of time.
mhm,
So I don't want to be beholden to anybody. Like that's the thing. Like if I have to skip a week, like I know it's kind of crappy to listeners or whatever, but I do it because I just don't have the time to do it. So if I'm
yeah,
like I'm, there's added pressure that I just don't need because this is fun for me. It's not something I'm looking to make money doing,
yeah,
right? So that's
absolutely.
another reason I think for me
Uh,
personally.
MD Chaz, we all know Sanjay is a GS watch ambassador. We buy them nonetheless. Okay. All right. Well, great topic. This is always a fun topic to talk about. Again, no judgment on anybody who does pay promotions.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
I
I
think
like
we all
that
agree
Peter
with
was honest about that he does it and why he does it. I love that.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the. Speaking of a paid promotion, I mean this wasn't a paid promotion, but I know Theo and Harris, or Christian from Theo and Harris. He does this. He works with some brands. I think he did like a Breitling video, way back,
Or he
and so
tried to.
or he tried to, yeah.
Yeah.
Poverty, war, and catastrophic fires. How Nomos saved Glashütte. Now, look, this I peaked. I perked up when I saw this because I am, Bobby loves German watches again. So I wanted to see this, and I gotta say, I mean, he does a really good job filmography, telling a story. This was a short video. It could have gone longer, in my opinion. I would have watched. I would have watched if this was a half hour long. I would have watched it that long.
I
I would have
expected
watched.
it to be. I was surprised when it was only like under 10 minutes.
I know, it was epic. You had the music, you know what I mean, and giving the story. Went a little dramatic with the whole story of Glashütte and all the bad stuff that happened with him. And I know that happened, but then after all, we're talking about watches, right? Anyway, so but
Some
some history tidbits. Yeah, go ahead, Sanjay. Sorry.
I was gonna say some political commentary just to inject it in there.
Yeah,
Yeah, a little bit.
a little bit, right? But look, I mean, he gave us a little history lesson. You know,
Mhm.
I knew that. I didn't realize that. Longa, the originator, the Longa, right? Like he was basically paid to go by the German government to go to Glashütte and work there, right? They were trying to attract business to that region of Saxony, right? And so he basically started watchmaking in Glashütte, and and then like through time and wars and whatnot, like that kind of fell apart, and then that part of Germany was under the communist control, and they consolidated all those brands into one brand. And then when the Berlin Wall came down, the guy who founded Nomos, started open up shop there almost immediately. And then the grandson, I think, of Longa came in and also started there, and it really kind of like that was responsible for like the rebirth of watchmaking in this beautiful city. By the way, picturesque city.
Oh,
I'm definitely going to go.
gorgeous.
I'm definitely going there. Definitely going to go there and visit. Not just because of the watchmaking, but just because it's so freaking cute and adorable. And there's probably people with hot chocolate and marshmallows, and they're like going down to the each shop and like, oh yeah, nice watch, yeah, and then just drinking the hot chocolate, yeah, like that, like oh I could do that, right? And then
I wonder what it's like in Phoenix, Arizona. Yeah.
oh, yeah, yeah. It's like, what time is it? You think, me, my world timer. Where's Moritz Grossman? He's also in Glashütte, Moritz
Yeah.
Grossman. Anyway, we're in Lederhosen and saying hello to Wolfie. Anyway, so, but, and then he speaks to one of the PMs, project managers over at Nomos, and speaks to the current CEO. Oh, and I got to tell you, man, the video worked. I want a Nomos. I want a Nomos. I go hot and cold with Nomos. I want one. I want one. I mean, like, isn't that like it looks like it's so much, it looks like it's working at the North Pole. Like you're an elf working at the North Pole for Santa. Like that's what working at Nomos, if I had to imagine what it's like, that's how it's like.
Yeah.
It's like
Very, yeah, that drone shot at the end, and then when they
oh,
showed the headquarters there, I was like, "Oh,
oh
wow, yeah,
man,
that's
I'm sign
really
me up,
cool."
man. I'm moving there. I'm moving there soon.
Architecture is so much more interesting over there.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Anyway, hey Clayton, do you want a Nomos now? After watching this?
I do not, but, no, they still don't do anything for me, but it did change my, well, I don't know if it changed my opinion. I really thought Christian did a good job in this video. Um, I've never really been I'm sure he's a lovely guy. As far as his YouTube content, I've never just been into what he
Mm,
does, never really been into them, or their channel, but no, I actually thought this was really well done. It wasn't, like, too self-indulgent or anything like some of these videos can be. It was more about the city, more about the brands, more about the people, and some of the technology that they've implemented there, and some of the things they're doing with watchmaking. So no, I thought it was really well shot, very very well done, like cinematic.
mhm.
Like I said, the drone shot at the end was nice. You could see the farm country and the little
Yeah.
village, and yeah. So yeah, Nomos is not. I'm just not a fan of that design language really at
Yeah.
all. I don't know that I would ever own one, but that was really I really enjoyed it. It was nice. It was not what I was expecting. I was like, oh boy. Yeah, I always kind of groan when one of you picked them. So I was like, oh geez. But no, I found it very pleasant, and I might watch it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially, do
Yeah.
you want a Nomos?
Yes, yes, I do want a Nomos. I've wanted a Nomos Tetra again
Mm,
for a while. I don't think I'll ever do it because I'd rather have a Cartier
mm,
Santos, and I think
mhm,
Nomos Tetra Cartier Santos would be competing against each other. So
mm.
I'll wait for the Cartier Santos. But it did, light a little spark, or added a little fuel to the fire of the Tetra, which I find really charming.
Yeah.
But the other watches, like the Autobahn, I think is hideous. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
man, what an ugly
Yeah. I mean,
watch.
look, there's not too most of the I'm not into most models.
Yeah,
I'm really
Yeah.
only into the club. That's the only one I really, really like.
yeah.
I like their world timer, but not enough. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
So, but what I got here was a story,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that to
I love the
me,
story.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that to me is can work
Yeah.
for me to
Yeah.
push me over the edge.
It's true. Yeah,
Yep.
I agree, because I was thinking, hey, if what Christian is saying is true, Nomos is like the last
Yeah.
independent brand in Glashütte, or well, probably not last independent brand. I'm sure there are lots of independent watchmakers there, but the last independent bigger brand, I guess. Um, so, and they make 95% of their items like
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love
the
that.
parts.
Yep,
yeah,
that was really cool.
That was pretty cool.
yeah.
Uh,
And
the
then make them and the biggest producer of German watches in Germany,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
and he made sure to put that Nomos started before Lange, like
Oh yeah,
before
yeah, yeah.
we
Well,
started
he's
before Lange.
yeah.
You had
I'm
to
sure
make
Nomos paid. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, that guy Lange came after
yeah,
Nomos.
yeah. The
Yeah,
second,
they didn't get swallowed up by the big evil
yeah,
conglomerate.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I know. Little digs there.
Just now that Lange's got swallowed up by Richemont, they're not German anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it did do a pretty good job of selling Nomos.
Mm.
Maybe there is a full feature film coming after Nomos gives them some more some
Yeah.
more coin.
Yeah, right, right.
'Cause I'd
Uh,
watch it too. It was well done.
yeah.
The story
Uh,
was awesome. There's just so many more watches at that price point I would much rather have.
Mm,
But yeah, I found the story. Yeah, I found the whole video quite charming.
yeah.
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 And did taking a dig at me, and yet the biggest German fan won't even put a Nomos in his. Look, to give some context, I created a little vision board of like six German watches that I'm looking forward towards next. And I didn't have a Nomos. I'm gonna put a Nomos in there now. I'm gonna revise the vision board, and I'm gonna put a Nomos in there.
Like a
So
club or
yeah, it's gonna be a club. I don't know if it's gonna be like a Neomatic. I don't know if it's gonna be an automatic. I mean, I like the simple manual movement club, like with the California dial. Like
yeah.
I kind of like that. I like that. Like Bill Sanders calls it like a juvenile watch. Like Nomos is a juvenile brand. You know what I mean? But that's fine. I mean, I'm feel juvenile every once in a while. They're not. They don't break the clubs don't break the bank. You get them pre-owned.
Yeah.
You get a good price.
They
Um,
made one for like breast cancer awareness.
they
I
did.
think it was a club. I actually thought about buying that one. It came up pre-owned, I think.
Yeah.
I think it had like a pink seconds hand or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I applaud them for doing that, and whatever money went to breast cancer. I mean, but like those kind of like special. Well, I don't dig it. Like
No.
like yeah, it's not for me.
The the special Nomoses tend to have like really weird color schemes.
They do.
Like
Yeah. That was like navy blue with a pink seconds
Mhm.
hand.
That
Yeah.
that
yeah.
guy from 1010, Adam.
Yeah. I think it
He
was
had
his. He was selling it.
yeah,
That's what it was. Yep.
yeah. Chad saying Theo can weave a story like Homer and is a wordsmith like Shakespeare. All right. Wow, high praise. Wade saying Glashütte looks nice, but truth be told, lots of towns have the. Yes, you're right, Wayman, but not a lot of towns, huh? Make watches like Glashütte, right? Come on, man. Come on, man. You're watching a watch channel, Wayman. Come on, dude. You know it.
I'd
Uh,
rather go to Austria. Live in
yeah.
Austria.
Well, I mean, look. I mean, I'd go to Austria too and visit a friend, right?
Yep.
Visit our friend there.
Have you seen The Sound of Music? It's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm going on. I'd go on a hill. I'd go on a mountain. I'd be
Yeah.
like, "Come on, Wolfie, take me to the, show me the nearest hill," and then I'll just embarrass him. Well, I'll be like, "Invite all your family and friends. Let's have a picnic," and he'd be
Yeah.
like, "Why?" Like, he's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "No, no, don't worry about it. I just want to have an experience." And then I'll just get up, put a
Just
dress
go with
on.
this feeling. Just go with
Yeah,
this feeling.
yeah,
Go, a deer.
yeah. Oh, can you make it like little Wolfie, like sing that song?
Yeah.
With its like, family,
Little-
that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. I can't wait till he sees this in the morning. Um, Steve saying watchmaking continued in Glasgow during the period, and it was part of this. It was, but like how Theo said, there was no soul in those watches. They lost their way. They lost, all that. Caliber, I want more Nomos. Kevin says the club reminds me of a watch for a high school graduate.
Isn't that what it's meant for? I'm pretty sure it's like a university kid's watch or.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying
Okay.
that's a bad
What
thing.
if you graduate from high school like 27 years ago?
Yeah, yeah. Right,
Still
exactly. Kevin's saying, I just don't see owning a club campus at my age. Oh man.
Oh, it even has campus.
Because
on
it has
That's
campus
probably
in
why
it.
it's
Yeah,
out of it.
Yeah.
I need to hear Bobby Legs singing. These are a few of my favorite things. Well, it is this. You know what? In a couple months, that movie's going to be on TV. And
Oh,
maybe
they're remaking it?
no. They here in the States, they always play for some reason. Sound of Music is always played during Christmas or right before Christmas for some
Oh,
reason.
really?
Yeah.
And yeah, and so Chaz, maybe Mrs. Legs will videotape me. They can have the sing along version with the words in the Nirvana. Yeah. I'll do it. I'll do it for you guys. Greg saying the more I hear about this Hitler character, the more I just don't like him. Oh, brutal. Bobby is like blue and old school. You're my boy, Bobby. Okay. Well, thank you. Hey, moving on to our final video. Brave Beaters. There is life after Rolex. I bought the most exciting Grand Seiko. All right,
Have
Sanjay,
you
you're up.
have you heard of Brave Beaters before? The
I've seen
first
him
time I
before.
ran into his channel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
not subbed, but I have watched his stuff before, so I'm subbed now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I thought it was incredible videography and picture quality that was surprising because it was really a beautiful video. It really showcased how
Yeah.
beautiful that watch is. But the point, although he did get some things wrong, like I must say, Mr. Brave Beater.
The Grand Seiko ambassador is coming for you here.
Yep.
It was like one eyebrow was going up, I can't do it. When he mentioned when the special edition Four Seasons were first announced in the US, he said it was 2022 or something, 2021. It's actually 2019, end of 2019. And then he said it didn't sell well, but actually it sold really well. It was flying off the shelves, and that's why Grand Seiko decided to make it a worldwide release, knowing a lot of the US purchasers. So he got that part wrong, but not a big deal. Really small part of the video. Really great review. But what I was more interested in kind of chatting about was a little comment he made about purchasing watches and buying something at full price, or not full price, but buying something brand new, not full price. And those people who buy things pre-owned. He had mentioned that the people who wait to buy things pre-owned are more opportunistic. I might be mixing up his words a little bit, but there's an opportunistic collecting mentality there where you have to kind of wait for the opportunity, or you purchase something. At least in his group of collectors friends, they purchase a watch that pops up, and it's kind of semi-impulsive, not quite well thought out, but they get to experience this whole new kind of um, watch. And he was talking about buying something brand new where you get to research, and you get to
Mhm.
laser focus in on a watch, but you kind of have to buy new, which I thought was an interesting thought process, interesting philosophy. I'm not sure I personally agree entirely, especially maybe with newer watches that just come out. I think that probably is more true than false. But if you're buying something that's maybe even a few months old, I feel like you kind of have if it's not Rolex, at least you kind of have the pick of the litter, right? You can go online, and it might not be right next door to you, but you can buy it online and get it shipped to you. And um, the only way I can kind of rationalize how you might think that it's impulsive and opportunistic in collecting is if they are kind of like me and they only purchase in person. So for me, I kind of resonated with the opportunistic collecting because I always ask my AD when I go visit what what new used pieces have come in, because they don't advertise what they get. They just it's kind of word of mouth, and you can get really lucky, and you got
Mm.
there that day, the day before someone traded in this piece that you were waiting for forever, and the opportunity strikes,
Mm.
and you go for it. But then he might bring something out that was there, and you didn't plan on buying it. It happened to me with the bronze Black Bay 58. It just showed up, and he was like, "Hey, you're interested?" And I was like, "Oh, I guess I kind of am."
Yeah.
Uh, so,
They have
so
us. They have us, don't they? Oh
yeah,
man.
they sure do. So, yeah, I would love to hear what you guys think about opportunistic collecting, and if this applies to you at all, or if buying brand new has its own perks, so
Yeah.
to speak. But
Clayton.
I think I thought of a couple things, and I thought of it maybe I don't know if this applies, and you can tell me if you don't think it does. I'm gonna close the door because my dog just came in. Sorry. So when he was in here earlier when we were all part of Random Rob's thing, and he would do like the Sunday fun day. I know I bought a lot of watches through that, right? It
Mm.
was
mm,
Yeah, me too.
definitely because you didn't always know what was coming, so
Hmm.
it was very impulsive, and they were all pre-owned, some of them, and he would kind of choose the price because a lot of us like tend to price them a little high. So in order to get them to move, Rob would like, I'm gonna set the price, and he'd always set them pretty low. So you knew like you get some crazy watches that were probably maybe a little scratched up, but you get them at like really bargain prices. So yeah, that was I fell victim to that, I think, a lot, and that was like in our friend group in our Discord. And I was also thinking, a lot of us, maybe when we either like an AD and we're loyal to that AD, or maybe we're trying to establish purchase history. That's another way of where we kind of get targeted in, and maybe we pigeonhole ourselves. Like, well, and I'm kind of that way now. Like, I really love this AD in New Jersey. She hooked me up with this FXD. It's like, well, if I'm gonna spend money, like I'm probably just gonna. She's treated me very well, and it's beneficial to me probably too. So I'm going to just maybe buy from her from now on. But that
mm,
limits my brands. That limits what watches I can get. So yeah, I've definitely fallen victim to that.
Mm.
The Sunday Fun Day thing I thought of right away.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I mean, I think for guys like us, it's also a little bit more complex, right?
Mm,
So yes, we're talking about impulse decisions, right? Impulsive decisions, and yes, that I know that happens to me, right? When I see something that I think is a good price, maybe I considered it before, maybe I haven't, but there was an opportunity, yes. Um, but we are students of this, right? And
Mhm.
some are more astute to it than others. But we know about watches, right? We've gone down rabbit holes for each watch probably 100 times, hundreds of watches, maybe even more, right? And so we recognize that we can't at this particular moment in time have them all. Yet when they come up and it's at a good price, we are ready to strike because it's been it's been part of the calculus for a while. It's just it's just never presented itself maybe.
Mhm.
um and so yes, I think as an opportunist, I can fall into that impulsiveness of it, but at the same time, some of these decisions, although maybe it appears on the surface as impulsive, haven't been, because they've been in the rotations of watches that I've been interested in anyway. And so that's how I look now. Maybe for people who are not so deep into it, Brave Beater's, theory or observation rings more true. I just think that there is some truth to it when it applies to me, but it's way more complicated. There's way more to it than just to simplify it by saying, that I'm an opportunist because I see an opportunity because the price is cheap to a watch that I may not have considered before. It's just, I think
Mhm.
it's just a little bit more complicated than that for some people. For me.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Um, Dib saying, man, selling a Rolex and getting a GS, weak move, not top G behavior. Be brave. Yeah, flipping Dibby knows. He knows. Brave Beaters was a bit late to the game, says Wayman, and he seemed a tad over concerned with how masculine the watch is. Hey, I love that Shamban, man. And I got to tell you, that dial on that gold case
Mhm.
is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in the watch world. It's ridiculously priced, right? Way overpriced, right? But man, if money wasn't an issue, I would totally get that watch, because I think that combination of that gold, and I think it's more like a rose gold kind of look,
That's good.
with that dial is just absolutely beautiful. I love it. Kevin, that's weak sauce if you sell Rolex. Okay. Wait a minute. If a watch isn't masculine, it isn't worth wearing. Why would you wear a feminine watch is beyond me. Drink cow milk, not soy milk. All right. I mean, that speaking of like complicated, that is a lot of unpacked in that statement by Deb. But yeah, Sanjay, any more thoughts on it? On the video.
Uh, yes. I lost it. I
That's
was
okay.
looking for that Grand Seiko reference with the rose gold with the Shinbun dial. I think it was SPGY 028. Let me share my screen here. It's just
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Does
yeah.
that dial he I wrote down a few things. He said the pink dial isn't legible in certain types of lighting. Is that have you guys ever had or anyone had hands on with it enough to notice that?
Oh, I've never had it hands on. I've seen it in some videos, and
I
yeah.
I've had that watch in hand. I've never noticed it to be hard to read, so it hasn't been illegible to me.
He also said it's a
Don't
great watch to sleep with because there's no vibrations against the pillow.
but
It was
did he mention
weird.
that?
Yeah, he mentioned that.
Wow, okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Missed that.
yeah.
Is there a vibration against a pillow?
No, he said there isn't. So that's why the spring drive and the yeah,
No, no,
and
I mean with a regular
yeah, I
mechanical
don't know.
watch.
I've never noticed that. I
Eh,
fall asleep in my watches every night. I've never noticed that.
yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Having owned a Shunbun, that's not the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had never really looked at one long enough to know if it was or wasn't. But
Chaz mentioned Grand Seiko is in German, so now sort of Chaz pull me back to center. Okay, I know, Chaz.
They were
Um,
allies back in the day.
all right, let's not talk about like warring. I like German watches, all right, and I like that Grand Seiko. Wayman saying he's never had trouble with the Shunbun
Yeah. Right.
yeah,
legibility. So Anyway, yeah, Bray Beater. Good. I've seen some of his videos
Yeah.
before. I like the guy. Just you probably don't want to watch him in 1.5 speed because he normally talks fast and then the accent kind of just like
Yeah.
it's just yeah. So you kind of have to watch that out.
I bought that Citizen Unite Pro Master this summer solely because of his review. He
Ah,
made it look beautiful. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great beaters.
all right, Kevin, getting technical. It's not the Shumbun, the gold watch. Just has the same dial pattern and color.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, all right,
Completely different case.
yeah,
So, yeah.
gotcha. I understand. I just think it looks pretty. I would buy that watch. I would buy that watch. I
Yeah.
wouldn't tell you guys, so you guys don't like give me you know guff
You,
about not it's not being German.
you
But
do what Dr. Bobby did, right?
yeah, yeah, I'll do what Dr. Bobby did. No, but you look. Hey, I love German watches. Doesn't mean I don't like other watches.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. I got four. I got 6 watches in the collection. 4 of them are German. All
Yeah.
right, 4.
Yeah.
Two
Yeah. It
thirds.
doesn't have to be 100%
Yeah.
German.
Yeah.
You only
Yeah.
need 60% to have Swiss made on the dial. So hey, you're a German watch collector, and
I knew.
yeah.
I knew. I could count on you guys for support.
And
Really.
that singer reimagined that Bobby K got. It's an orange watch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got a German watch collection.
Yeah. Exactly.
I have
gotta
not
drop-
watched your stream last night. I have to watch it.
Oh, it's one of the best. It's one of the best of all time. It's one of the best of all time for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, anyway, look, guys, we did it. We made it through another episode of Watch Soup. Thanks again, my co-host Sanjay for mentioning your wannabe channel. Hey, what do you got? Anything going on in the channel this week? Anything coming up?
Yeah, I just released an old video I recorded a couple of months ago. But I really didn't want to.
Because you don't have to watch anymore.
Yeah, I don't have to watch it. I don't have both watches. My wrist check in that video.
You're the
and
best. Man.
and the video, like the video watch. But I was kind of fighting with that video. Like I was pretty negative on that Grand Seiko. So and I didn't really want to release it until I was ready to, and I felt I'm ready to release it. So I edited it, put it out
Good for
there
you.
today. Yeah.
Yeah. Clayton, what about you?
I
What do you got?
dropped. I released 3 podcasts today because I just had them banked and I just hadn't gotten around to editing them because
Yeah.
I've been so busy. So I released the one with Chaz, one with Corey, and then the one I released with you had some technical issues I had to clean up. So I re-released that one too. So
Yeah.
3 are on there. And I did something cool last night that I was dreading, but I thought I'd mention. If you ever get a chance to see it, Chaz Palminteri's one-man show of A Bronx Tale. Excellent. We went to Springfield to the MGM casino and saw it last night with my
Nice.
in-laws. It was awesome. Yeah, so I love that movie.
Yeah, great movie.
So
Sanjay's
he actually started doing it as a one-man play in the 80s. De Niro saw it, and that's how the movie got made. So I didn't know that. Yeah,
Didn't know that either.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
it was
So is
really
it like
highly recommend.
the Bronx Tale? That makes me think of like a gang war kind of thing. Is that how-
It's his true life story. He in 1960 there was sort of like a mob big shot on his block, and then he
Okay.
was sort of
Yeah.
I'm not too
influenced.
far
Yeah,
off.
it's that. Yeah.
There was another one like like set in New York where they had knives and stuff and they were fighting before guns.
Gangs of New York.
Yeah, is that it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good one.
What,
too.
is that like a super popular movie?
No, it's just like there was a gangster movie set in New York.
Yeah, right.
Like they're all set in New York.
Are they? I didn't know
But
that.
kudos to Clayton for like getting it like right out the bat. We got you covered, Sanjay. We got
Yeah,
you covered. Hey, look, I'm not going to be around next week. I'm going to be out of town. So hopefully Sanjay and Clayton, maybe they get together and do an episode of Watch Soup for next week. Other than that, then I'll see you guys in 2 Sundays from now. Anyway, chat, you're the best. Thank you so much. Sanjay, Clayton, thank you as well. And you guys have a great week and see you next time. Good night.
Good
Good night,
night.
guys.
Good night.